So thank you very much, Rafi. I have another opportunity to present myself. My name is Oded Klimer, to those of you who don't know me. I'm the Global Head of User Experience for HP Software. And today I'd like to talk with you shortly about user experience and what's next. I'd like to focus on two key items shortly. One on, I'd say, vision projects and how user experiences, as we perceive it, we're developing it and researching it at HP. And secondly, I'd like to touch a bit on best practices. So the first thing I'd like to focus is on case studies, case study UX and product UX. Last year, when I gave my talk here, I talked about the shift that we see in the industry, that user experience specialists are moving from designing UI screens into storytellers. Now, we're moving into storytelling because if in the past we used to develop one app focused on one platform, you hear the statement, I need a UX for a smartphone, I need a UX for a tablet, I need one for a desktop. You didn't hear people saying, I need an experience. So practically, some of us were designing UIs, designing screens. We weren't designing experiences in the full essence of the word. But today, when you look at today's market of Internet of Things, everything's connected. The thermometer is connected, the car is connected, my smartphone, everything can connect and talk together. Then when you're developing an application, you're suddenly developing something that's more than one UI. It's an experience. And this experience that spans across multiple devices means that you're already telling a story. And one of the key elements, key traits that you need to be able to do is to tell a good story. Because if you tell a good story, some of the parts of your story will have a UI to them, but other parts of the story may just be elements connecting and giving a smart experience, a good experience, or a smart insight, or giving you the exact thing you're looking in the right moment, or connecting you in the right element. So in essence, it's all about creating one application, one story, but with endless devices. And I'd like to tell you, I'd like to share with you a short story. Imagine that you're about to purchase a ticket using your desktop at home. You open your favorite browser. You have a few browsers on your computer, but you open your favorite browser, let's assume it's Chrome, and you purchase a ticket on your favorite airline. And then you go to your office and you open your smartphone and you have the same application just living on your smartphone, and it alerts you, tells you your flight is leaving on time, but pay attention, there's traffic on the way to the airport, and you should go earlier. So you go earlier. Once you get into your car, think of it, your car automatically connects to your application on the smartphone. Again, everything's connected, and it automatically suggests you if you want to navigate to the airport because it knows this is what you're about to do. And then I get to the airport. I look at my watch, and my watch helps you navigate to the right gate because the application on my watch is supporting the same application on my smartphone, which supports the application I worked on to order my ticket. And on the way to my gate, the application on my smartphone, when I pass through the duty-free, it stops me and tells me, you know, there are some promotions that are relevant for you. Do you want to stop and purchase something? So what did we have here? We had one application using multiple devices, giving us a holistic experience. Now, think how complex it takes to develop such an application. But this is our reality in 2 minutes from now. Now, stop and think again, not only about developing. Let's say it took about half a year to develop the application. Everybody's happy. Stop and think for a minute what complexity we have when we need to test this application. Let's think about it. What did we have here? We had multiple browsers, multiple versions of the same browser, right? Not everybody's using the same version of the browser. We had multiple smartphones, okay? A lot of smartphones. If I just look at the number of and types of smartphones in the audience, I think that I get to tens. Multiple watch types and versions. And we have multiple cars connected. So look at the complexity and the extrapolation that someone that needs to test the product needs to invest in order to get a product out into the market. Now, keep in mind that we live in a domain that the paradigm of continuous delivery that means practically let's deliver every 2-3 weeks out to the market is out there. How can we, if we just want to do a small update or add a small feature to our airline app, think of the complexity we need to test to make sure that all of this is working. Now, we took this exact story, this exact vision, and we created an experience to it. Because when you think about the complexity of creating such an application that's able to do so much, think of the complexity from the user experience side of it. Now, this is the business of HP Software, and our challenge was to, on the one hand, show how life will look like 10 minutes from now, and on the other hand, show how we can create a user experience that supports the development and testing of such a complex world, but supporting it in a simple and an intuitive manner. That was our challenge that we went out to seek. So now I'd like to share with you the vision movie that we created as a result.
The world around us is changing. Technology is becoming more and more tied up with our everyday tasks and goals. The mobile device world is extremely dynamic, with endless combinations of devices, browsers, and versions. Smart insights derived from big data affect our day-to-day decisions.
Your flight leaves at 5:30. Do you want to drive to the airport? Go.
Everything is connected. Technology is working for us, creating a seamless user experience. Big data lets us target all types of user profiles, providing a unique and personalized customer experience. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes things go wrong. In our ever-changing world, when every customer has the power to create a major impact, you need to make sure to always be one step ahead. You need real-time monitoring solutions that leverage big data analysis to translate social trends into actionable insights. Smart Analytics harnesses relevant data to streamline and speed up the development process. An end-to-end testing environment keeps your workforce on track and ensures faster releases with amazing quality. Fully automated real-time functional testing ensures that everything keeps working right. A virtual lab of devices, networks, and services that is always up to date, providing you with the optimal testing environment for every user story. You need comprehensive network virtualization that emulates testing environments with real network conditions. Quickly create, run, and analyze performance tests, making sure you are always up and running in real-life conditions. Embracing the latest technologies transforms the way we perform usability studies. one story, one application, endless possibilities. HP.
We've seen where we are today, or where we will be in 2 minutes from now. But the question is that all? Where will we be 5 minutes from now, a year from now, 10 years from now? And at HP Software, we believe that 10 years from now, the user experience and the approaches to UI that today we connect to what we call science fiction UI that we see on Hollywood movies, that people interact with tables and people interact with the walls and people interact with their day-to-day objects, we think that this is the way that people will interact with in the near future. This is the way that enterprises will work like in the near future. Because if you think about it, if everything is connected, from a technological perspective, there's no problem to take a whiteboard and connect it. There's no problem to take a wall and connect it. Everything practically from a pure technological perspective is feasible and doable. Today it's a bit expensive because it's not so widely spread, but it's feasible. And today, the next thing that we're doing is we're currently experimenting with the field. We're doing experimentations on trying to understand what implications does it mean that someone goes in the office and interacts with a whiteboard. Because think about it, the fact that we're moving forward in time means that we're losing a lot of devices that we use. Because we won't need as many computers. If you look at the latest, I'd say, science fiction movies coming out from Hollywood, you'll see that the ideas are that you interact with the existing surroundings. You stop for a minute, interact with the projector wall, and then it changes its functionality. We don't add additional walls, okay? So what we've been doing currently, and it's in initial stages, is experimenting with it. We're trying different ideas of how you can interact with the wall. We're trying notions of, okay, so I started a process in one place. How do I connect it to the next thing? I started it, for example, on a big screen like we see here on the projector. What are the implications on font size? What are the implications on the distance I need to stand from it? What about the amount of information I need to discern? What about the elements like situation awareness? How do I identify the different elements I need to interact with in such big scales? And let's assume that I just interacted with the wall, and then I go to drink a cup of coffee, and I get a notification on my smartwatch, and I just put the smartwatch, place it near my coffee table, and it becomes the interface. These are not science fiction movies anymore. These are elements that we believe that in the near future, maybe not in the very near one, will be part of our daily lives. And we are currently testing and trying to find what are the challenges that we'll face. I hope to be, by the way, next year when we meet in the next UX at HP conference, to be able to share with you some of these insights and some of the ideas that we've collected in this research. So we talked about what's next from what we see in the UX, but I also would like to share with you shortly some things that we've been doing from a best practice perspective. Internally, those internally from HP are familiar with our UX portal, our internal UX portal, which has been helping us streamline and coordinate that all the products in the HP software suite are part of one, I'd say, family of products. They have a similar look and feel, interact similarly, but at the same time maintain a unique identity to them. It's a big challenge. And the current existing portal has been a huge support for that aspect and also for promoting UX in general. But we've arrived to the conclusion that the current portal is not enough. And we've been working on the next generation portal that will be launched, I'm happy to say, in the beginning of November. This portal that will be showcased in the beginning of November will have a much stronger emphasis on what we call today on case studies and on research, because we do have our famous usability toolkit, but we found that it's not enough. That in our, when the culture and the maturity of people internally has grown, also the expectations from what we can deliver is growing identically. So I'll show you a very short glimpse of it. A small note I forgot to say is that it will be launched internally in the beginning of November. But since we had so many good feedbacks about it, we've decided to also open it to the public And hopefully, by the beginning of December, we'll be able to share our knowledge sharing portal externally as well and help pollinate the external net community as well. So you can see we have different aspects. One of the ideas, by the way, behind the case studies was not just to give a nice gallery, because we do know how to give a nice gallery to things, like when we do give a nice gallery, but we also wanted to give something that has added value, that breaks down a specific project, not only to nice visuals, but to understand the notions and the element that drove behind it, the different logic that we took when designing or developing something. So you can see we have all the elements that you'd expect from an internal portal. So as you've seen, I hope you'll enjoy our internal portal and you make the most of it. We're looking forward to get any inputs and feedbacks that you have from there. And as you anticipate, as you imagine, as you may assume, we will be sharing our insights on the next generation user experience that we're currently researching as a case study on the portal in a few months from now. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening.